name is Daniel De Coco, and I work for Abstergo Industries, journalism company, here reporting on Joe Muhammad Day, which is supposed to happen this year on May 20th. And the origins of Joe Muhammad Day starts from a South Park episode, which aired on April 14th, and the other episode aired in April 21. The one that aired on April 14th was called episode 200, and the other one was called 201. Basically, this episode of South Park. South Park is a animated show that is on Comedy Central, created by Matt Stone and Trey Parker. And basically, in episode 200 and 201, they bash on Jews, black people, celebrities, and redheads. They go nuts in this episode, and the episode is basically about how they have to carry how redheads and celebrities want the Prophet Muhammad, because they want to drain his power so people won't make fun of these guys. And in the first episode, they don't show Muhammad, but they basically put him in a bear suit in episode 200. In episode 201, things got a little bit more censored. Every time they say the Prophet Muhammad's name, they would censor his name. And there's a lot of controversy over why it got blurted out. The episode wasn't making fun of the Prophet Muhammad. It was just a silly episode. And a lot of people, Muslim extremists, took this to heart, and they threatened to kill Trey Parker, Matt Stone. They got the death threats. A cartoonist named Molly Norris came up with a picture of Muhammad. Then she received threats as well, and people were pissed. So when that happened, she got the idea to create an event on Facebook called Joe Muhammad Day. And the sole purpose of Joe Muhammad Day was to show the world that as Americans we're not intimidated of what we say or what can be censored. She wanted to show the Muslim extremists that she wasn't intimidated of what she had to say. Signify freedom of speech, our First Amendment. The pros of Joe Muhammad Day. We're not intimidated by what we have to say to other countries, not intimidated to what we have to say to other people. The cons. South Park is basically poking fun of the Muslim community, and some Muslims take this really to the heart, and they're not afraid to express how they feel. I put in my good friend Karim to educate us more about why Muslims take this to heart.
Hello.
So why do Muslims take this to heart about the whole Joe Muhammad Day, and like how people are drawing pictures of the Prophet Muhammad?
Well, Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, we have to say that every time. In our religion, you cannot have either a picture of God or our Prophet, because it leads to it divides the attention of prayer. Like, imagine if we had a picture of Prophet Muhammad, people would they would forget God in a certain way and start, making that picture more than it is. Rather than being more spiritual, they would start worshiping pictures and stuff. It's kind of, that's the reason behind not putting pictures. Though, some people take it as fun and stuff. It's all right to have it as a fun. It's not all right. But I don't really feel that if it as for fun, what happens is that it becomes, for extremists, it becomes more tough for them. Who are normal Muslims like us, what we do is we just pray. We live our lives like normal people. Anybody. It just happens is when you have something like this insulting us, though people are not that sensitive nowadays, people are getting more open-minded, still a little bit it's there.
So did you take this whole Joe Muhammad Day like really personal, or do you feel offended by this whole Joe Muhammad Day as a proud Muslim?
I do take it a little offended, because I know that people have freedom of speech in this country and everywhere else. Freedom of speech is a beautiful thing. I love it. But sometimes not all freedom of speech can be helpful. It sometimes hurts people. Yeah. Though, imagine if they insult something of you, of your background,
So you believe this episode should have been banned? It should have never been aired on
It,
Comedy Central?
I mean, it could be it can be aired. Like you cannot really stop from airing it, um, but I would, as a Muslim, I would not watch it.
This episode was really offensive.
It does offend because you're kind of playing around with the emotions of our beloved figure.
There's the Muslims that don't care about this episode, and there's the Muslims who care about this episode, right? Just like other people.
All the other people, but I don't think the people who made this a big deal, right? I don't.
Was this episode a big deal? That is the question.
From my perspective, it is not that big of a deal that I would start killing people or do something stupid like other people are doing in God's name. What they're doing, like that is not what
The Muslim religion is about.
It's not about Muslim. That is not something you do and kill people. Yes, if somebody insults your prophet or something like that, you take it up as a peace protest. You say,
so it's part of
please
it's part
take
of the
it down.
religion. It's part of the religion.
It's part of the religion.
To take matters into your own hand when it comes to defending your beloved prophet.
Yeah, it's just take it in your own hands. Make a peace protest. Say that we don't make a peace protest and say we don't like this. Please take it off. This is offending us. Rather than saying, oh, I'm gonna do something stupid. And that is just ridiculous. That is not what
The Muslim religion is about.
At all.
Okay, thank you. One of the reasons why Muslims took this really to heart was that in Muslim religion they basically believe that they shouldn't have any pictures of the Prophet Muhammad because it's a sin, and it was just sinful to have any pictures of Prophet Muhammad, and that's why one of the reasons why Muslim extremists took this to heart. My name is Daniel De Coco, and this has been a video from Abstergo Industries.